how to choose the right product. What's up guys? Today we're going to be touching on a product checklist. So if you saw any of the previous videos to this, you know we've now built up a list of potential products. And out of those, we're going to need to choose the very best. Which of those has the highest potential to succeed? And that's what today's video is on. I'm sure you're going to learn something new today, whether it's 1 or 2 or 5 of these different checklist points that are going to help you make the right product decisions going forward. These are very different to what you might usually hear as well. So I urge you, don't skip ahead in this. Watch this end to end. I'm going to try keep it very short for you guys as well. If you haven't seen those previous videos, I'll drop you quick links right below this video in the description. And if you enjoy this content, please consider subscribing and give this video a quick like if you do find it helpful. So let's jump in. So the first thing we're going to do is look at these product choice factors. And these are going to help you make your product choice. So you can see here, this is choosing your final product. You've maybe got a group of 5 or maybe 3, maybe even just 2 products, but you cannot choose between them. And that's what we're going to help you do today. That's what we're going to go through. I'm going to give you what I use to make those final decisions. And specifically certain things that I think are even more important now than ever. As I've made mistakes and grown my own business, these things have become much more clear to me, and I want to pass those on to you. I know how difficult this business is, and hopefully some of these things are going to help you guys make the right decisions and avoid mistakes. So we're going to expand on each of these, but I'm going to drop you the list really quickly now. We're going to go into the product difference, the visual representability, the dollar profit, the customer search terms, and market entry. So number 1, product difference. This is your ability to bring to life a significantly different and a valued product to this market. And you're going to do this in one of the following ways. Number 1 is positioning as a premium option. Are you the higher tier option in that market for the customers wanting to pay more, or you have a higher quality or better material product, or more features, or you've changed the functioning of that product so it's been more expensive to manufacture but it performs better, and those willing to pay for the highest performing products are willing to pay you a premium for what you have built. So that's premium option, where you're pricing just above where everyone else is pricing. Secondly is creating the most desired bundle. So perhaps you're seeing frequently bought together across a whole lot of listings, and you actually build out that bundle into one product, and that allows you to offer it at a lower cost to the consumer as well. Serving a specific segment, super important for your competitive markets. You don't want to go in and just compete with everyone with a product that looks the same as everyone else. You want to come in and you want to really serve one particular customer best. You're finding a gap, you're finding an area that you can fill with your product for the first time, or way better than anyone's currently doing. Fixing an issue. So in this case, it has to be an issue or a problem with the product that, number 1, you can actually fix, but 2, just as importantly, that no one else has fixed yet. Has to be in that situation so you can fix it for the first time. Again, you're finding a gap, you're being different with this product. Introducing a new to Amazon version of the product. Remember, that's not just a brand new product, it's a new to Amazon version of that product, and you could actually specify that even further. So for example, a new to Amazon.com version, or a new to Amazon.co.uk version, or Amazon.de version. So this is a great way to stand out. You can even go look at other international markets, find a version selling really well there, for example Amazon.com, the US, and actually bring that version to the UK for the first time. But it is a new to Amazon version. And lastly is introducing a brand new product that you've actually built from the ground up. Remember, that's going to be more on the kind of invention side of things, or where you at least have your own mold of that product produced and you introduce that to the market. Overall though, you can see with this, the key is that you are building something super different. When you release this on Amazon, people are going to choose your offering, not because of the reviews it has, not because of anything other than the value that you're offering. So any one of those strategies would tick off product difference. Second, we're going to look at visual representability. Now, what does this actually mean? This is the ability to stand out on results pages. So if we use the example of fixing a problem with a product, let's say the product had an accompanying app which people disliked on most of the offerings, and you created some new feature in the app. That would actually be something quite difficult for you to represent on the main image, as opposed to if you introduced a new to Amazon version of a product, that is going to be highly representable. You're going to be able to show that difference massively, impactfully, powerfully on the main image. So when people type in that search term, they come look, they see all these sellers selling pretty much the same thing, or with one or two accessories, but then you've got this new version, a better version, a version you know sells really well in a different place or on a different platform in the world. And so that would be very powerful, and that's how you have to think in terms of differentiation and in terms of product choice. This is one of the key aspects. So in short, some products lend themselves to improvement that is highly visible and desirable. These are better than those that don't, as it's going to lead to a higher click-through rate, and that's the starting point for everything else. If you have a high click-through rate, that is people click on your listing, that leads to everything else. Without that part, you will not see sales. Click-through rate, conversion rate, sales. So click-through rate is going to be highly determined by how much you can really intrigue people with that main image. Next, we're going to touch on dollar profit. Now this is the profit per unit in dollar terms. So we're not talking about, say, 40% profit margin. We're talking about, say, $10 in profit per unit you sell. And the higher that your dollar profit is, the better. In other words, $15 per unit would be better than 10. Not just because that would be better, but specifically because of fixed costs. A lot of the costs you're going to endure in selling this product, like PPC costs, FBA fulfillment fees, and international shipping fees, go at a certain rate. They're at a set rate. It will differ between products or niches, but in general, they're going to be at a set standard type of area where you're going to pay for those things. For example, PPC costs. Most people are going to pay around $1 to $2 on keywords, their cost per click, depending on how competitive it is. But they're not paying 5 cents a click, and they're not paying $8 a click. It's in this range of usually between, say, 50 cents and $4 for really expensive keywords. So if you start to think about that in a set range, things start to change in terms of what you think is important when it comes to profit. Not so much percentage, but dollar terms. If you earn $5 profit per product you sell, and your PPC costs are $1, then that is a lot of money to put towards selling that product if you sold it through an ad. But if your dollar profit is $15 and you've got to pay $1 in ads, that makes a lot more sense. It's less draining on your business. Now, FBA fulfillment fees and international shipping fees, you're usually actually working into your profit calculation. But just keep in mind, if your dollar profit is much higher, usually just if you're selling at a higher price, these things are much less taxing on the business because, for example, FBA fulfillment fees for smaller type products are going to be like $5.20. It's not really moving based on price, it's the size of the product. So if you have a smaller size product selling at a high price with higher dollar profit, that's way better than if it's selling at a low price and lower dollar profit. And the same with international shipping fees. It's based on volume, not on what you're selling this product for. Next is our customer search terms, and people do not speak about this one enough. This is the number of ways that you can search for your product, or more specifically how your customers can search for your product. And this is going to become very important if you're in a competitive area with a lot of PPC happening. PPC and PPC costs specifically can become your biggest adversary and eat up a lot of your profit, especially if there are not many ways to search for your product. If there are only 2 or 3 ways to search for your product, everyone is on those keywords. Everyone is advertising on those keywords and they're bidding on those keywords, and the price just keeps going up and up and up. If you have a ton of ways to search for the product, say like 10 different ways, 15 different ways, then people are spread out amongst a lot of different keywords. You'll still have your main and expensive keywords, but you have much more option of getting in front of your customers, reducing PPC costs and allowing you to retain more profit. In short, the more ways that you can search for a product, the better. It brings down the PPC cost and allows you to rank for multiple search terms. It allows you to be discovered in multiple places across the Amazon platform. Lastly is market entry. Now this is the number of low review sellers who are selling well, and it's going to allow you to understand how difficult market entry is, how difficult it is to penetrate this market. With this one, I will say this is much more important if your product is very similar to what's currently available. The more similar what you're doing is to what's already selling, the more important this is for you. If you're doing like a brand new version, then this is less important to you because people are going to buy you for different reasons. So here, we're looking at the number of low review sellers, that's less than 100 reviews on page 1, who are selling well. This tells us customers are willing to buy from listings with low reviews or more based on value. It's going to give you more confidence in launching this product. Again, way more important for you if your product is similar to what's already selling. So I hope this helps you make that final call between your remaining 2 or 3 products. I know it's easy to get stuck at that point and you don't know which to choose. So I hope this helps you stay kind of emotional and make that decision based on these type of metrics or criteria. I hope you learned something new today. If you did find this useful, if you think these sessions are going to help you push your business forward, please do subscribe below and turn on those little notifications. That way you'll be notified as soon as I release new content and you can implement that in your business. If you did find this helpful, please drop this video a quick like. I really do appreciate that, and I will see you guys in the next video.